Father, tell me, when can I leave to be on my own? I've got the whole world to see. I want to meet other people.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst voice acting performances in animated movies.
I'm sorry, Bubbles. There are many other bobbleheads out there who need me.
But what if we need your help again?
You won't! You've got each other! Now bobble on!
For this list, we'll be looking at the most abysmal voiceover in feature-length cartoons, whether they were released theatrically or straight to DVD. What's the worst voice acting you've ever heard in a movie? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Nicolas Cage as Dr. Tenma, Astro Boy. While he may not have star billing, Astro Boy's creator is arguably the real heart and soul of the film, and not just because his new son is mechanical.
That's good, son. Very good. But I don't want you to become complacent. It's important to keep studying. Onward and upward, Toby.
Unfortunately, the compelling story of grief and acceptance is buried beneath a lackluster performance from Nicolas Cage. The actor has a history of tackling some of the zaniest roles in Hollywood, so it's baffling that he comes across incredibly muted while playing Dr. Tenma.
You should not be wearing that hat. A robot should not be wearing my son's, Toby's hat.
He's so flat in some spots that you'll be left wondering which of this family is supposed to be a robot. If you want your fix of unhinged Nick Cage goodness, you're better off looking just about anywhere else.
You may not be Toby, but you're still my son.
Dad.
Number 9. Matt Damon as Cale Tucker, Titan AE.
You know, I do an honest day's work. I want already dead food. Is that too much for a fella to ask?
This movie's plot received criticism for leaning on just about every sci-fi trope in the cosmos. Ironically, Matt Damon's leading role suffers from a lot of the same issues. The actor's work feels like he's imitating similar roles instead of creating something fresh that stands out on its own. The result is a central character that comes off as bland.
If I don't like the way things are going, I'll show you how much like my father I really am.
To be fair, Damon wasn't exactly given a deep role to begin with, but any potential characterization Cale had is buried beneath his actor's unconvincing attempts at bravado.
You know, we both got real lucky back there. But the next time around...
Cale!
At the very least, the film's visuals are good enough to enjoy even when he's on mute. Number 8. The whole cast. Scoob. Ruh-roh! There's a major mystery afoot. Today we'll try to solve the mystery of why anyone thought replacing the iconic Scooby voice cast was a good idea.
This will not stand. Let's go get that dastardly dude.
The Mystery Incorporated crew have been brought to life by a pretty consistent bunch of actors over the last few decades. However, most of them were overlooked here in favor of casting big names like Zac Efron and Amanda Seyfried.
Jinkies. What? Someone had to say it. You weren't saying it. I'm scared. I'm scared!
Despite their best efforts, their voice work pales in comparison to the established Scooby voices fans were used to. Their casting ensured that Scoob's main characters didn't feel authentic. For a Scooby-Doo movie, that's an inexcusable sin.
Guys. The Mystery Machine needs a whole new everything.
Number 7. Billy Bob Thornton as Jigo, Princess Mononoke. Pulling in a great actor like Billy Bob Thornton to work on the English dub of Princess Mononoke seemed like a no-brainer. Unfortunately, his performance ended up being a bit head-scratching.
My God, but this is a lump of pure gold, you silly woman.
Thornton's delivery alternates between being incredibly awkward and jarringly overblown, and at some points, it just sounds like he's reading from a script.
Don't you even think of thanking me. It was my pleasure. In fact, I should be thanking you, really.
The main issue here is that his subpar performance doesn't live up to the incredible reputation Princess Mononoke has. Given how prominently Thornton was used to market the film, it feels like he was cast more for his name than his voiceover abilities. In the end, all we got was another disappointing dub performance.
What do you say we give him a little demonstration of how fast we can run, huh?
Number 6. Taylor Swift as Audrey, the Lorax. While Swift has a stellar musical resume, her acting reputation isn't quite as strong. Her role in the Lorax definitely didn't help her case.
Ted, what is this about?
It's about this.
Wait. Is that?
Yes, the last truffula seed.
Although it sounds like Swift has enthusiasm for her Audrey character, a lot of her lines have the same emphasis and emotion. This makes most of her dialogue blend together into one flat performance.
Oh, come on, we know why you're really against trees. Because they produce fresh air.
Swift's missteps only become more evident when compared to her more nuanced and dynamic cast members. And despite being a world-famous singer in a quasi-musical, she bafflingly doesn't get a chance to sing within the movie.
I bet that sounds crazy. Does that sound crazy?
While Swift's stunt casting could have uplifted the film's reputation, her performance knocked the project down a peg. Number 5. Rob Schneider as Norm, Norm of the North. It's only fitting that one of the most terrible animated movies ever made also has some of the worst voice acting. As expected, the biggest culprit is none other than Norm himself.
We have to do something. I have to do something.
Number 1 or number 2?
Rob Schneider stars as the titular bear. Although he's had a lengthy career in Hollywood, his voice acting here doesn't live up to his acting history. His performance is so hollow, obvious, and annoying that it almost comes across as mean-spirited at times.
I'm just Norm. There's no need to poke the animal in the cage.
It almost feels like Schneider was trying to parody what the lead of a children's film should sound like. If his misguided performance was the best they could do, maybe Norm should have just stayed in the North.
No, sorry, it's not about that. I'm just worried. In saving our own home, I may have ruined someone else's.
Number 4. Cher as herself, Bobbleheads the movie. The goddess of pop has done fine long-form work in films and TV shows for years now, so this role should have been a walk in the park.
Really, guys? Do we need these big entrances every time? Also, the fog, it can't be good for the environment.
Cher was just slated to cameo as a bobblehead version of herself that has a very small role in the narrative, but her awful performance here makes it feel like she's on screen for much longer. Cher's line delivery is incredibly wooden and uninspired.
You're Cher! I'm bobblehead Cher. You know, don't get me wrong, Cher's great, but I'm my own bobblehead.
Although she's supposed to motivate the other bobbleheads, the lifeless performance might just put you to sleep. Despite the fact she only has a few minutes of screen time and an extended cameo in the credits, Cher somehow completely overstays her welcome.
When you put your bobbleheads together, you can achieve anything.
Number 3. James Corden as High Five, the Emoji Movie.
Welcome to the Loser Lounge, where the emojis who never get used hang out.
The personalities of sentient emoticons should practically write themselves, but James Corden somehow managed to make a walking, talking high five feel obnoxious. The big hand lacks nuance and his comedic timing is all off.
Come on, man, it's high five. You know me, I'm a favorite.
Alex hasn't picked you in weeks, and if he stops picking you, you're no longer a favorite.
While Corden is given plenty of screen time to crack jokes, we often end up sighing every time we hear a line. This makes us cringe every time the high five character gets put in the spotlight.
I'm coming! Ah! Why do I always think I'm gonna come around on black licorice? Ah! My precious!
To be fair, the Emoji Movie isn't exactly high art, but given Corden's experience in comedy, we were expecting him to at least try and sell these jokes. In the end, his half-hearted work on the film is a total poop emoji. Number 2. Charlie Sheen as Dex Dogtective, Food Fight.
I should have been with you the whole time, but after Sunshine, I just gave up. I let you all down.
It's movies like this that make you wonder just what goes on in a recording booth. At some point in production, someone surely must have realized that Charlie Sheen sounded like he was sleepwalking through his lines.
Dan. One more thing. Will you be my best man?
It's a genuinely awful performance that's not even so bad it's good. As a matter of fact, it's no stretch to say there's more product placement than good line reads from Sheen in this whole movie. Admittedly, even Christopher Lloyd struggled to turn in a good performance in this maligned film.
Oh, I'll make space.
But the fact that Sheen was such a boring and uninteresting lead made watching this disaster particularly rough.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Pauly Shore as Pinocchio, Pinocchio: A True Story. The boy who wished upon a star isn't even the most wooden part of this movie. In the end, Pauly Shore's acting is the most stiff aspect of this film.
But you know, what about my dream?
You have a dream?
Yes, Tybalt, I have a special, most treasured dream.
When the movie's first trailer came out, people blasted Shore's awkward, cringy, and downright eye-rolling interpretation of the character. After the movie itself finally released, his detractors had a field day with some of his absurdly ludicrous acting choices.
You told me I should ask Bella out. Well, I did. And you know what answer she gave me?
What?
Get out.
His baffling performance stood at the forefront of one of the most botched English dubs of all time. The fact that the actor also failed to do justice to a beloved character also made things worse.
That's it. You talk way too much. You leave me no choice but to shut you up.
Honestly, our noses would grow if we said Pauly Shore's work here was anything less than an absolute disaster.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.